It's 3:46 p.m. I was up until, I guess I stayed up until about 7 in the morning, basically just watching videos on YouTube and just listening to dudes on SoundCloud. I feel like I went down a way crazier music wormhole last night than I've maybe ever gone down in the history of me having what is essentially a music podcast. Like, I seriously went so deep and just listened to so much shit. And I followed a lot of people and I just got fucking deep. Like, I don't know. I feel like in a weird way, there's a part of me that has been sort of like holding back on going fully into being a music interviewer. That there's a part of me that always kind of wanted to hold back on that. And I feel like somehow I've kind of broken it down in my head a little bit. And now I feel more capable of fully living up to the job that a lot of people want me to do, and that I think a lot of people think that I'm capable of. But anyway, my sister just sent me this video of my nephew Henry singing a little ditty that he invented called the Cheese Song, so I think that I'm probably going to use that audio for the intro.
What kind of song did you write?
I said, the cheese, cheese, cheese. The cheese, cheese, cheese. The cheese, cheese, cheese. The cheese, cheese, cheese. Cheese, cheese, cheese.
That was beautiful.
There was this trip that I took to Barcelona about 5 years ago or so, and that was when I really like conceptualized myself as a podcaster and a guy with a shop and a clothing line that was a lot more established. And I really kind of had like the vision for what I was going to do with my life and what I was going to turn myself into, even though I didn't know how I was going to get there exactly at that time. I read this book called Never Eat Alone, and I'm not really sure if it's like a good book or anything. I just read it at the time, and it fully convinced me and immersed me in the idea of what was possible through networking. And I know that networking, I'm gonna look right at you guys. I know that networking is sort of like a four-letter word in the industry because it's associated with people who are blood-sucking fucking vultures and just want to, mooch off of your fucking swag and shit like that. But, I mean, when you look at this podcast and shit, it's 100% just a networking game. Like, the whole point of this fucking thing is for me to, like, work my way into all these conversations that I want to have through just making connections through different people. For anyone who is young and out there, that's number one. That's what you need to do. If you're like starting from zero, you just need to start building those connections. And yeah, it'll be really hard in the beginning to build connections because it's really hard to get anybody important or influential to give a shit about you or give you a chance. But if you could start to build those connections, that's like the only path towards success, really. Like, it's so much more important when people talk about dudes who went to Harvard and shit like that. They don't talk about the education as much as they talk about the network and the fact that, all of a sudden you're plugged in with these people who want to fuck with you because you have a similar life experience as them. So no matter what you're doing, where you're at, like, I know that most people out there are probably, working on a smaller scale than what I'm doing currently. Just get out there and start putting your face in front of people and stop being a stranger and just start meeting people. And I can think of 10 million fucking examples of people that I know who've turned their fucking lives into really, really awesome, spectacular things through just putting themselves out there and getting their face in front of people over and over and over. I have been standing outside of my apartment for 20 fucking minutes waiting for this Uber Eats driver who is apparently completely brain dead, driving in circles around my block over and over and over. Mind-blowing. There's a very, very serious language barrier going on here. Okay, so now I finally got my food, and the question is, the guy was apologetic. Obviously, he was probably trying to do the right thing. But the question is, should I give him a bad review or not? Because, objectively, he is fucking terrible at his job. I'm going to just not give this guy a bad review, even though he absolutely definitely deserves it, because he's probably one of your fucking dads or something. So if your dad's name is Ferdinand and he drives a fucking Highlander, tell him to suck a dick. I was so annoyed after that whole debacle that I ate the food and I did not show the food to the vlog, which is a big, big no-no. But now it's much, much later, and I ordered sushi. And a plug. Okay, so she's here and she's got crazy porn star makeup on, and also I've got crazy porn star sushi. Look, show the face. Can you tell, guys?
Hi.
Look at that eye makeup. Isn't that crazy?
I went to a makeup class. I was a canvas.
Doesn't she look like she's about to get
Oh my God.
bukkakied?
Is that what's gonna happen?
Well, yeah, if I can find like 70 or 80 other guys.
Guess what I got in my PO box today?
I saw it on Twitter. What is it again?
Fucking resume for a security guard.
Hey,
like, freaked-
shout out to the Rope Gang hustling out there.
that really freaked me out because I was like, oh my God, I need a security guard.
They're trying to. No.
Just scared me.
I mean, you know a lot of other hot girls with a lot of followers, right?
Me the same with you, but I had too much paper. Still that same nigga that used to front your big brother. Found out he a bitch too now, call him your big sister, bitch.
What a me. This is a privilege. This is not a right. I clean your clothes because you're good to me.
I'm over here UFCing it, and then she, before she even tops me off or starts doing anything, she's over here doing fucking laundry. I bet she wishes she was giving me top, but we have a few rules, and one of them is that you can't suck my dick while I'm watching UFC because that feels gay. Also, don't talk about sex while we're eating. That's my other rule. That is a weird thing about me that I've kind of had ever since, I guess I first identified it when I was in like my early 20s, which was that I really don't want to watch anything sexual in nature while I'm eating, which I guess maybe seems obvious, but I feel like I might have been traumatized at a young age because I think I was sitting there eating lunch, and it was in the early days of the internet. I might have been like 19 or 20. Well, not early days of the internet, but this is, 2002, 2003, that type of era. And somebody sent me a video of like a guy, it was like one of those pain torture compilation things, and it was like this porn star girl, and she was taking a whole dildo and just fucking this dude's dick hole with it, just blood coming out. I honestly, I felt like really like I'm just sitting there in the middle of a fucking hamburger or something, and all of a sudden I'm watching like the most brutal shit that you could ever imagine. Resourceful. And I don't know, ever since I've just kind of like if you send me like a link and I like see that it's got like girls in bikinis, like I probably don't want to watch that until I like finish eating.
Or talk about it.
Which might be like my weirdest.
I don't think it's that weird because I feel like it happened to me recently where I saw too much bodily fluid while there was something in my mouth and it was like sexual, and I was just like, okay, maybe you need to not follow these girls on Twitter who are porn stars but are always retweeting.
Oh my God, because I always look at Twitter,
Always.
yeah, and all of a sudden it's Brian Gosling and fucking Abella, and he's just like turning her into like
Turning your heater on.
into a fucking sponge. He's just, I love Brian Gosling. I have a lot of respect for his fuck game. This is one of those bath bombs that's supposedly infused with THC and shit that I got in the mail the other day. I've never taken a bath in this home. I never take baths because I'm a grown man and that's weird. I don't want to stew in my own juices, but I'm gonna see what happens if I take a bath with this. I mean, if this has kush in it, I could potentially get very, very high. I don't know if I believe that this is gonna get me high.
I want to get high via lotion.
I want to eat it. You could get in the tub too. Let it soak into your skin, like fucking.
Do you think we're both fit in the tub?
I mean, maybe for like a little bit.
Okay.
But first, I gotta shave my head.
You take the bath bombs out of the bag and you bend over and you lean in and you put the bath bomb underneath the water and it starts to dissolve into the water, and when the bathtub is partially full and almost full, you get into it.
Wow. Okay.
I don't have a middle name. My parents are foreign and they didn't give me one. Weirdos.
All these cameras and I'm still iPhoned out. What's my deal? I'm just so committed to the old ways.
It's so easy. I find myself like reaching for my phone when I'm about to vlog too, even though I mostly have vlogged with this.
So I'm not gonna lie, that thing had me pretty messed up for a little while. I was feeling like really in the zone, but now I feel a little bit more normal. I feel very relaxed, actually. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. And I ate a whole thing of mac and cheese, and that was great. So you should go watch her vlog, too. It's got my ass, from what I've seen.
Wait, what?
It's got a lot more of the footage of me taking the purple Kush bath. So thank you very much to the Rope Gang for viewing this vlog.
Hi, vlog.
Peace.
Bye.